a
Sorry, I'm recording this.
yeah, it says I had a relationship with Matt that you probably aren't familiar with, because I knew him both through football and with boxing. And so what was interesting was he actually did boxing as a favor to me, and the irony was he ended up winning. So let me backpedal a little bit. So I'm actually from Annapolis, Maryland, and I had been going to Brigade Boxing since I was like 10 years old with my dad. And I met Matt, football, and then Matt would sometimes come over to my parents' house, you know, on the weekends as a plebe to, get out of the academy, and we were friends that way. Because my parents' house was like a local hangout. I had a lot of football players over.
Of course.
So sometimes Matt, my dad, would come and to the academy, and on Mondays and Thursday nights, I would bench with my dad every Thursday nights on top of football workouts and everything. So sometimes Matt would do that too, and that was in McDonough, and that's the same place where the boxing is.
Got it.
And so junior, senior year, I started talking to Matt about doing, because he would work out sometimes with my dad and I and bench with us on Thursday and Monday nights. So senior year, Matt and I are in a class that's like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the Marine Ground Combat Training class, and he and I are partners. And at the time, by the time you saw me at the boxing match, I was like 260.
Got it.
But during that, I was like 320 and a lot heavier.
Oh, wow.
And I could beat Matt at that point, and all those kinds of things, and in boxing. And then so I was talking to Matt, like, you know what, I'm going to do boxing when I get out, because I need to lose weight, right? Because there's no way I can run a mile and a half in 10 minutes and 30 seconds. I was asking him to do it with me because I was talking to the boxing coach on Mondays and Thursday nights. I go over there and he's like, well, you need to get another heavyweight because we can't get you a match.
Yeah.
So my dad and I like talked him into it a little bit. And so outside of just going to boxing practice, after football ended, and Matt would run with me because I had to get right, because I had never run the PRT before. I was a big offensive lineman and had never run the Navy PRT. I always biked it, and all the linemen got to bike it. And so the PRT was 1 week, like the same week that the boxing brigade finals was. Anyway, so I had lost like 60 pounds by the time of the fight.
Wow.
And that was a lot of fun. So probably a highlight for both of us. And
Absolutely.
So even though I ended up losing in front of like my grandparents and everything, I'm glad it was to Matt, because he was my friend outside of just
absolutely.
a boxing. And so in the first round, I broke my hand on his face, and that's why his face, you saw how messed up his face was. So I broke my thumb. And then so for the next like 3 rounds, I'm only fighting with one hand, because I broke my thumb, and he proceeded to give me a beating of a lifetime. Right? I'm just glad I made it through. And it was, and he won it all fair and square. And it was a lot of fun. And then he and I ended up both getting concussions from that. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't actually. Yeah, no, I wasn't aware until you emailed me. Yeah.
So later that week, he actually helped me, and he ran my final, or the only PRT I ever did at the Navy Academy. He ran around the Navy football training coaches. Duman and Wolfolk were there administering the test, and him and Billy Coates and Darren Hess were like encouraging me as I'm running, because I had never run it before. 6'7", being 320, I had never had to run it before. So that was a big deal for me. And I passed it like 10:29, and he was with me for that.
That's awesome.
So that was good. He did the boxing as a favor to me, and ended up winning. So
absolutely. Yeah, I remember watching that. That was a super cool thing to witness. And yeah, I mean, that was a battle, that was a war. So it was awesome to see that. And it's really good to meet you. Um, yeah, man, I mean, these kind of stories are, why we're doing what we're doing at the 38 challenge, and just spreading his legacy a little bit, and at the same time, raising awareness for people like yourself, military and football players, and helping you guys with whatever challenges you may face due to head trauma. Um, I mean, I guess, since I have you here, do you have anything you'd want to say, kind of in the realm of concussions or things you've dealt with? I don't know if you've thought about that, or
So I got it pretty bad. So outside of boxing with Matt and all the football concussions I've had, I actually got medically retired from the Navy just because I've had so many concussions, and the last one was so bad. So I have to get, it's not for cosmetic reasons, but I get Botox injections and a neural inhibitor shot.
yeah,
And I lived up in NICO NICO is part of Walter Reed Bethesda. So I was admitted, and I lived up at Walter Reed for a long time, because all the concussions and all the stuff that went for that. And so I've been very fortunate that I don't have any mental problems that come with that. And so it's the National Intrepid Center of Excellence. And so I'm not a Navy SEAL anything, but it just so happened that every other person in my NICO class that arrived at the same time, that we were all living at Walter Reed together. That's all the head trauma people. They're all like Navy SEALs who like had a grenade go off near their head or something. And they're like, "Why are you here?" I was like, "Oh, I was playing football." Right? And but I was very lucky because of my group, I was the only one that didn't have any like diagnosed mental issues. I'm really grateful for that. I just have some physical issues that are manageable. Um, but I don't know what good advice there is. So probably the best advice is I had so many concussions, and I kept quiet about some of them. And a lot of it kept me off the field because part of it, maybe I wasn't a better football player because of it, but maybe I should have stopped playing football earlier. I wouldn't have the problems I have now.
yeah,
But,
absolutely.
I enjoyed my time playing football because I was in this weird dichotomy at the Naval Academy where playing football is actually easier than being a midshipman
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not having to run the PRT and everything like that. So,
definitely. Yeah, and
zip my lid, at the time made sense.
for sure. And yeah, I mean, obviously, you love football. I mean, we all love football, and I think the reason why we're doing this is so we can have a future of it. Because if we don't raise awareness, still raise funding, then it will remain to be dangerous, and you'll have those thoughts of maybe I should have stopped earlier. But when I want my kids to play football, I don't want I want them to have resources and awareness and safe ways to go about it. So not only on that side, but like you said, on the military side, the guys who have experienced grenades going off your head, like, yeah, that's going to create a lot of trauma. And it's in the beginning stages of research and what it's actually doing and how severe it can be. So that's what we're kind of trying to do. And it's, sorry, go
So a
ahead.
good thing is I didn't know about NICO until the last minute right before I got out of the Navy. And that's open to it's not just a Navy thing. It's just anybody in the military. So anybody who's severe head trauma, seek that out. And you actually have to get orders to go there. So if like I could convey anything, because I had appointments 8 hours a day and I lived there for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
I had I was assigned like a wheelchair dog, and like I was given all kinds of things,
Wow.
and a lot of resources are poured. I had an MRI every day for weeks. Uh, they're like trying to like look at brain scans and everything, and they had me like playing like mind games, and I had like a Game Boy. And I had like a screen, and they were giving me MRIs. They were showing me certain images and stuff. And
Wow.
I don't know the conclusions of whatever they were looking for, because they had a
Yeah, for sure.
research MRI. Because MRIs are scaled on orders of magnetism. So if like 1.5 Teslas is a normal MRI, that research MRI was like 7 Teslas, and if you just sneezed or moved your head, you were violently throwing up.
Oh my gosh.
Powerful. But yeah, so if any guy's still in the military or they're getting out and they've had a lot of head trauma, that would be something I would recommend, is try and seek out NICO. Um, and because you got to have your doctor, like, and then your command gets you to go there. But it's worth going to and getting looked at if you're anywhere on
Absolutely.
the spectrum. So I was really fortunate to be able to go
Yeah, dude, yeah, that's crazy. So I'm gonna stop the recording now, but we'll stay on.